Last time, Windows 1 was met with mixed reviews, a solid entry in the new OS series, but there was definitely room for improvement. As the workloads grew, there were a lot of demands for modifications and tweaks to utilize the full potential of both hardware and software. However, some of the customers were looking for a complete overhaul. That didn't go as well as expected. Windows 2 is more of an evolution rather than revolution. And trust me, we'll get to the revolutionary OS in this series. We have arrived in the late 80s. 2 years after Windows 1, in December 1987, Windows 2 was released. In consumer and to some extent in enterprise environments, there were two leading architectures, 8086 and i386. So inevitably there were two variants this time called Real Mode and Protected Mode. 8086 wasn't as powerful as i386, but it was widely supported, cheaper, and more accessible. In contrast, i386 offered some of the crucial elements like memory management and wider compatibility. Windows 2 had to cater to these demographics. As a result, based on 8086, Windows 2 made a variant called Real Mode, and i386 got a variant called Protected Mode. From Windows 1, there are very few improvements in terms of the UI. The biggest one is the ability to overlap and resize the Windows applications. In addition, desktop icons and keyboard shortcuts were also introduced. Only in this version they introduced the terms minimize and maximize, which are still in use to this day. Preloaded were 15 programs, some of them niche, trying to get off the ground like Microsoft Word and Excel. Humble beginnings, right? Unlike Windows 1, which was met with mixed reviews, Windows 2 was pretty successful. It fixed a lot of the backend problems with the previous OS, catered to the two leading architectures at the time, and introduced quality of life improvements. It even won the Byte Magazine Award in 1989. Next iteration is gonna be a huge departure from these two iterations, and you don't want to miss that story. In 1988, Apple filed a lawsuit against Microsoft and HP, claiming they had copied Apple's UI design and icons. They claimed a total of 109 elements that were included in the lawsuit. Around 99 elements were ruled in Microsoft's favor, and the other 10 were found to be non-copyrightable. Apple lost this lawsuit. However, Microsoft and other companies definitely took significant inspirations from Apple. Lisa GUI was very creative and versatile, and I can see the reasoning behind the lawsuit. The user interface is extremely familiar. The only major differences are in the drop-down menu. Programs for the most part are also same except for a few system ones. The most noticeable element that has changed is the color scheme. Under the hood performance is also comparatively better, but it would be very hard to prove this empirically. All in all, a great second entry in Windows family and a very iterative improvement. For us, all these decades later, it's easier to say that Windows 2 wasn't a revolutionary OS, or it wasn't as huge of a departure as the previous OS. I think in the context of that time period, our intuition and use cases weren't mature enough to perceive the designs that we have today. That, however, was about to change in Windows 3.x. Join me next time to look at that versatile operating system. With that being said, this is Rocat. I hope you guys enjoyed this perspective. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys later.